Alrighty, in this video we're going to make two quick improvements. First one being, instead of having to create a copy of the activatable abilities, which I was unaware on that this existed, what we can do instead is add a lock. So we can add the ability list scope lock to the top before we actually iterate over our activatable abilities.items. So now we can put this back inside of our for loop like so, and do the same thing for the ability input pressed or released that we did for the ability input pressed, like so. And that'll take care of needing to create a copy. Likewise, if we head on up to our on player controller set, here we add all of our defaults. So what we're going to do is instead make a public function, which is going to be void. Let's do set default abilities. And I guess we can also do void set default effects. Now, the reason we're making these two and we're making them public is I've ran into a case in the Zombies tutorial series where I've needed to call or basically add the abilities to the AI. And the AI doesn't actually have a player controller, so this never fires, meaning we never grant them default abilities. So what we're going to do instead is cut this logic, go to set default abilities, paste it in, go to set default effects, and paste it in again, and simply comment or remove the add abilities from the set default effects and remove the add effects from the add or set default abilities. Then on player controller set, what we can do is call set default abilities and set default effects. Now, one addition that I want to go ahead and add, and I'll make it a property. Let's actually make it to the top. Let's do bool be auto grant abilities, and we'll make it true by default. Or auto grant default. Or auto grant starting abilities, sorry. Let's actually change these from set default to set starting. And call it give starting abilities and give starting effects. I think those are much more appropriate names. So give starting abilities and give starting effects. Very simple. Now we're going to have auto give starting abilities and auto give starting effects. And what this will do is if we're on the player, we will check if the auto give starting abilities, we want to give the starting abilities. If the auto give starting effects, then we want to auto give the starting effects. And let's add a comment above here just so we kind of know. This will auto give starting abilities to starting abilities when the player controller is set. And likewise, do the same thing down here for our starting effects. We'll auto give these starting effects when the player controller is set. Now, this will make it a lot easier for us because we will indicate that this is specific to a player controller, not an AI controller. So let's go ahead and compile, launch, and make sure we at least have the same functionality. All right, once we're back in the editor, we can go to our third-person character, ability system component, and we have our default passive ability. So let's go ahead and we'll just play a standalone, press space, on input pressed, and released. Like here. And likewise, starting a passive ability, we can check that as well. So let's plug this in. And we should not see a print. Oh wait, sorry, we do. So let's see here. Oh yeah, that's right, because we have auto activate on the ability. So starting passive abilities is a completely separate section. But anyways, it's been a while since I've viewed this project. Anyhow, that is going to be all for this video. We just wanted to make this a little bit more accessible for when we actually are using it in the zombie series.